Anthropologically speaking, do you believe that all women institutions they enhances the sexism in the society, or do you believe that they help in eradicating it?
What is the contribution of tribal society in Indian economy?
Can you tell me some of the principles of good governance? Just the name.
You have immense interest in international affairs. Okay. Then why did you not opt for the Indian Foreign Service as your first preference? Do you really think that Indian Foreign Service is a highly specialized service?
May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
You are Aashna.
Yes, sir.
Lovely name. What is the meaning of your name?
Sir, it is an Urdu origin word which means beloved or companion.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you have been preparing for the civil services ever since passing out from the college?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the meanwhile, I have also started pursuing my master's in international relations. I'm doing it from South Asian University.
Okay. So apart from preparation, you are also have started pursuing studies and all.
Yes,
I
sir.
find from your DAF that you have also been attached with an NGO. Vidya.
Yes, sir.
So this is for the education of children from vulnerable sections association. Tell us something about this NGO.
Sir, NGO Vidya was established in 1985, and since then it has impacted the life of approximately 4 lakh children. It is majorly focused on the education needs of the children from the vulnerable sections especially. Also, women as well as adult literacy also forms a part of the NGO, but I was mostly associated with the education of the children.
So you are doing such a wonderful job, Aashna. Then why do you want to join the civil services? They are very general in nature.
Sir, civil services also provide you an opportunity to serve the needs of the people, but through a different way. So I would also continue doing my works with the NGO. I would also continue serving the social needs of the people, but also would like to make a change by being in the administration or being a part of the administration.
But if you are a part of the administration, if you are in the IAS, you will hardly be getting any time to get involved with an NGO. It's a full-time job.
Yes,
it?
sir.
So you won't be able to strike a balance between the two. Anyways, so while working with NGO, according to you, what difficulties you see are faced by these children from vulnerable sections of society?
So there are various difficulties that are faced by these children. The foremost is the parental support to their educational needs. The parents are not very literate, so they are not able to support their children in their educational needs. One. Two, sir, the quality of teachers is also compromised greatly. I was working in a school in Panchsheel Park, which is one of the elite areas of Delhi, and even there, the teacher quality I found was not very appropriate. Sir, another problem facing these children is the hygiene issue and the quality of water they drink and the food that they eat. That also I found, because I was monitoring them while they were having their lunch, and I did not find it appropriate for the growth needs of those children.
What the government has done for them?
So midday meal scheme has been rolled out, but not all children are comfortable eating in the school premises.
So what could be the reason for that?
Sir, I could not probe much into this area, but the caste of the cook has been one problem. Another problem has been the children are shy taking the food. They feel that they would be judged by other children who are not taking the food, and they would be considered less privileged than those children.
Okay, what has been your personal contribution while tending to children from vulnerable section or teaching them?
So my personal contribution has been in the form of narrowing the learning gap that has been set in. Because I realized I was teaching the students of class 1 and they were not able to read a single sentence in English. So that I majorly contributed bridging this gap. that has set in from the earlier classes and should have been tackled thereon.
Can you think of any other NGO in our country which is doing a human service, giving human service in this field?
Sir, NGO Sambhav is one NGO.
Okay, that's wonderful. One last question from my side. Do you think India is a patriarchal society?
Sir, sadly, yes. There have been instances lately where we have tried to get out of the clutches of patriarchy, but it is a deep-seated norm in the Indian society and has remained even today. That has been seen in the cases of acid attack where men take it upon their egos that the female is not reciprocating.
What is the way forward? What is the solution? Do you find any solution?
Sir, I think we have done, the government has been doing various programs such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, which are targeting the nudge component or the behavioral component. Awareness is one thing that we need to target in these cases. Not only women, but men should also be made stakeholders in these awareness programs. The education, we should target patriarchy right at the educational levels, right at the nascent levels. These could be some of the approaches that can be taken care of. Also, the female role models can be encouraged.
Do you think giving financial freedom to women will really help us in removing this patriarchal system?
Yes, sir, definitely, because the empowerment of women leads to their financial independence and independence in other spheres of life as well. So when we see independent women moving forward in society without the crutches that is the men, then I think it would really make an impact.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Aashna, how are you?
Hello, sir, I'm good.
Aashna, we'll have some discussion emanating from the institutions you have attended or you're attending. You did your BA Honours English from LSR.
Yes,
is that
sir.
the case? And you have taken anthropology as your optional.
Yes, sir.
Anthropologically speaking, do you believe that all women institutions, they enhances the sexism in the society, or do you believe that they help in eradicating it?
Sir, I would say I believe they help in eradicating it by providing equal opportunity to the gender that has been historically disadvantaged.
I understand it being happening in say in Pulakua or
Yes.
Other places, but metropolitan like ours,
Yes.
isn't it a place where our institution should be more gender neutral? You end up studying with from the male teachers.
Yes, sir.
So why not have your colleagues, your friends also from all genders?
Sir, I would like to take you back to the historical to the times when the institute was established. It was in 1956, right after independence, when female literacy was very low. So, sir, I would say when it was established, there was a need for women-only institutes so as to encourage women to attend them more. Also today, even in the metropolitan cities, we see clutches of patriarchy, especially women not attending many STEM courses, how they are disadvantaged in society. Delhi is also called the rape capital. So yes, women are disadvantaged in a lot of ways, and to provide assurance to the parents as well as assurance to the women that these spaces are exclusively for them and these spaces provide a very nurturing and a safe environment for them, I think that helps in...
But in turn, it deprives its own students of the kind of a training and exposure they'll get, for example, a counterpart college like SRCC, isn't it?
Yes, sir. There are some disadvantages associated as well.
You're studying international relations. You also studied English literature. Both the subjects were available for UPSC mains.
Yes.
You end up taking something else. Why?
Sir, that is because I wanted to explore diverse fields during the course of my preparation. I did not choose literature because 60% of the syllabus of UPSC coincided with what I had already studied at my graduation level. So it was getting very repetitive. Also, international relations I ended up taking after I chose anthropology as my optional.
Recently, a social progress index was talked about. Can you tell me who releases it in our country? And how is it different from the international social progress index that's there for quite some time now?
I'm sorry, sir, I cannot recall who releases it in India, but if I may make a guess, I would say, is it Niti Aayog?
You can look at it, but tell me
Alright.
what are the components of it and how is it different from the international social SPI we talk about?
Sir, I don't have much
What are the
idea.
components of the SPI?
Sir, I don't have much idea, but they should be related to education, health, skill development.
How your state is performing in it? UP?
Sir, UP in terms of fertility rate has not been performing very well. The total fertility rate is still 2.7, while the national fertility rate is 2.0. Also,
And fertility rate is important component of SPI.
sir, it should
You've
be.
been working with the NGO in the similar sector as SPI.
Yes, sir.
You don't talk about it. You like jogging.
Yes, sir.
How is it different from running
Sir, it is a slower version of running.
and walking?
Sir, walking is yet more slow.
Okay, can you give me how much will be walking and running and
Sir,
jogging?
Sir, in jogging, I cover around 3 kilometers in 20 minutes. In running, I would be able to cover 3 kilometers in around 14 to 15 minutes. And in walking, it would be around 25 to 27 minutes.
How will the benefit differ in these three forms?
Sir, running is a more intense form. Not everyone can run. I am one of those people who get tired very easily when I run. So there is a great energy loss when you run. Whereas in jogging, there is some form of energy conservation. But it gives benefits more or less similar to jogging, to running. Also, sir, in terms of walking, it's a very slow form. It also provides good benefits, but the benefits are progressively more in terms of jogging as well as running. But I do not prefer running because it exhausts me more faster as compared to jogging.
Recently, there were news after news of people getting heart attacks while doing exercise like running or the gymming and all.
Yes.
Do you believe that it's a normal thing that's been happening, or there is something more than that?
So there is something unusual about it. Many people have also cited pre-workouts as one of the reasons for these heart attacks. When people take pre-workout and they do not get tired very easily, but the body gets tired and they do not feel it. So that could be cited as one of the reasons for a greater number of heart attacks while working out. Also, sir, when you do intensive workout and the heart rate goes really up. So one reason could be that as well.
That these things cannot be recent happenings. People must be doing these mistakes all through
Yes,
ages. Then why we are having so much news nowadays?
Sir, one reason could be the visibility factor. That there has been a recent focus on why this is happening, also because this has happened with the celebrities as well, a few celebrities. So a visibility factor could be one reason that these are coming more in news and we are seeing these news more. Another factor could be the weather changes, the climate changes that are really compromising our immunities. So our targeted research has not been conducted on this. So we need to delve more into the reasons why this is happening.
Thank you, Aashna.
Thank you, sir.
Aashna, you have stayed in Udaipur also for a few years.
Yes, sir.
Who got constructed that famous lake of Udaipur?
Sir, Maharaja Uday Singh too.
Are you
the
sure?
Fateh Sagar Lake, yes, sir.
And is it not older than the Maharajas in Udaipur?
Sir, the lake is older than the Maharajas, but the construction that has happened, for instance, the pavement and the walling of the lake, that has been done by Maharaja Uday Singh too and subsequent Maharajas as well.
So who should be given the credit for digging that lake? It's not a natural lake, it's an artificial lake.
Yes, sir.
Who got the lake dug first?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, you're a student of anthropology and some tribal kings were associated with that lake.
Okay, sir. I will look it up, sir.
Okay. Which tribal population is the biggest, largest in terms of population in India?
Sir,
Gonds or Bhils?
sir, it is the Santhals.
Santhals?
Yes.
What's the population?
Sir, I don't know the exact population. I'm sorry.
Okay. What about population of Gonds?
Sir, the Central Indian tribes are relatively higher in concentration. The Gonds are also pretty much higher in population as compared to the other tribes in the, say, in the northeastern parts or the southern parts of the country.
And what's the difference between this Bhil tribe and Meena tribe?
So the Bhil tribe is generally found in the central Indian parts, and the Meena tribe is generally found in the western parts. For instance, Meena tribe is found in Rajasthan and the Bhil tribe is found in Madhya Pradesh. Sir, also in Gujarat. So the Bhil tribe is quite, in terms of population, it is quite widespread, whereas the Meena tribe is a little locale specific.
Is Meena a subgroup of Bhil?
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. What's their contribution? What is the contribution of tribal society in Indian economy?
So the tribal society has influenced Indian economy in varied ways, both positive as well as negative. So in terms of positively influencing the Indian economy, the Uttar Pradesh government's initiatives such as One District, One Product comes from the traditional art work that these tribes have been doing, and now these are commercialized. In terms of their negative influence comes the very debatable shifting cultivation, wherein the trees are felled down and they are burnt as well, contributing to the air pollution and various other related disadvantages.
And what is the occupational structure generally of the tribal people? What kind of occupations they basically engage themselves?
Sir, the tribal people have traditionally been the pastoralists, the hunter-gatherers, but now they have come to shifting cultivators as well, but now they have come to adapt to the modern economy as well. We find artisanal class as well among the tribals. We find the snake charmers among the tribals. We find the performers, the performing artists in the tribals such as the Kalbelia tribe, and now we also find the industry workers as well as the agricultural workers among these tribes.
As a student of English literature, have you found stories of tribal Indians in any of the major works?
Yes, sir. There have been various stories. There was, I cannot recall the name of the book, but we had a book by a Gond tribal, and it basically showed the paintings of the Pardhan Gond tribe as well.
Did you read any of the novels of George Orwell?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Sir, 1984.
Okay. Any other?
No, sir.
E.M. Foster's
A Passage to India.
Have you read that?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reference in that book to some tribal people?
Sir, I read it long back. I cannot recall.
Okay. Nice, Aashna. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aashna,
Yes, ma'am.
so tell me, how much are you connected with your roots?
Ma'am, I would say I try to be connected to them. Though I have lived outside outside Pilakwa for quite a long time, but I have reconnected with it during the time of the COVID and have been there. And I've also tried to understand the local culture and how the industrial connect that Pilakwa gives as well.
Okay. Supposedly you are posted in some rural area. So what kind of challenges do you think you will have to face?
Ma'am, the first challenge would emanate from the health challenges, health-related depravity and the resistance of the doctors to work in the rural areas. The second, I would say, would be related to education.
No, your personal challenges as an officer.
As an officer. Ma'am, I would say I wouldn't face much challenges as an officer living in the rural areas, because I have lived in a small town till around 14 years of my life. I've lived in my place, which is a small town. So I don't think I would face much challenges. I think I would be able to adapt.
Okay, what's the difference between living in a small town and you have spent so much time in a metropolitan city like Delhi?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a stark contrast between the two, where in a metropolitan city like Delhi, the taste of freedom is what attracts me. Whereas in the small towns, we are a little restricted. There is a close-knit community and we have to take care whether we are not hurting the sentiments of the people there. Whereas in metropolitan city, we can actually engage more easily, adapt more easily. So this is one major difference. Another is the infrastructural difference, of course. in order to commute within the town, it is very difficult. But to commute in a city, it is very easy because of the metros, because of the buses, because of the good roads. So infrastructural differences there as well.
Okay. So your optional has been anthropology.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, why is that we are the only species in our genus? Where are our sister or brother species?
Ma'am, there is a widespread theory that there has been an assimilation of these species within the Homo sapiens species. There has been an reproduction, an internal reproduction between these species, and that has led to an assimilation of the other species with Homo sapiens. For instance, the Neanderthals, they have been assimilated within the Homo sapiens. There is a widespread theory like that.
There are other theories also.
Yes, ma'am. The other theories say that the other species could not develop because of the over-specialization of their features. There is one more theory that talks about the brain-body ratio of Neanderthals being very high, and this is why they went extinct, whereas the Homo sapiens could survive. Another one is the clashes between the Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals. So there are various theories.
Recently, one more species was found. What was it?
Ma'am, Denisova.
Yes, that's another. In China, it was found.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I haven't delved deeper into that domain.
Okay, fine. So tell me, you have completed your graduation long back. What are you doing since then?
Ma'am, after my graduation, I have done an online course on globalization and theatre. I have also started doing my master's from 2021 onwards. So these are the things that I have done apart from the UPSC preparation.
Okay, which one is your favorite theatre? Any play or anything?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have read Shakespeare, so Macbeth is what I like. I've also written a research paper on one kind of theatre, which is Bhavna theatre from Assam, that developed under the aegis of Shankar Dev, Saint Shankar Dev.
And who is the father of theatre in India?
Ma'am, Bharat Muni.
Thank you, Aashna.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ashna, you must have heard about program Manrega.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell me some of the issues that Manrega is still reeling because of certain actions by the government?
Ma'am, the very widespread or the most quoted issue with Manrega is the delay in wage payment. Another one is that there has not been a technical backing, wherein the government has talked about the biometric attendance system. Steps have not been taken care to provide a technical backup for them. Ma'am, there are other problems such as the release of funds, the digging up of the resources for the digging up of the pits or the community related work.
Don't you think when we look at all these issues and challenges, the program in itself has failed at one of its prominent promises to provide the regular wage or provide sustainability source to the poor?
Ma'am, I wouldn't say the program has failed because we have seen Manrega backing up lakhs of people from the rural areas, especially in the times of COVID. So I wouldn't say it has failed. Yes, there are various challenges, and I think those can be surpassed if given the will of the government and the positive policy measures.
In case you happen to be serving in a district where wage payments have been delayed for a very long time, and people are actually holding protests because of it, because it's their sustainability source, and the payments have failed because of the technical issues, and you know it's not going to be overcome within say a month or 2 months, what would be your action to this problem?
Ma'am, my action would be first of all to write an application to expedite the process, so that there is a written record of the same, and so that I have done my bit trying to expedite the process. Also knowing that it is not very easy to get these things done, I would personally like to talk to the wage laborers and would personally like to address the problems to them, and also tell them that if they understand, then there would be a greater benefit in terms of
They
technology.
need the money to survive, maybe
Yes,
say
ma'am.
for another week. Do you think they would be in a mind or in the mind space to listen to sermons maybe?
Ma'am, I would also like to bring in the state government to tell them the ground realities facing these people.
Okay, anyway, India has been is being bothered by China on various fronts, specifically on the different sectors, be it the eastern or western. Right now, what should be, as per your opinion, the steps that India should take vis-a-vis China?
Ma'am, infrastructural building is one step that India is already taking and should pursue further in the border areas, also keeping in mind that China is doing the same on the other side of the border. Another thing that can be done is to come up with a China-specific security strategy. Another step can be taken in the economic sector, wherein India tries to reduce its trade dependence on China. Currently, the trade deficit with China is very high, and we are dependent upon China for critical inputs. So that can also be taken care of. So yes, ma'am, these are some of the.
And diplomatically, should we engage with China or should we have a cold shoulder to it?
Ma'am, we are already engaging with China at the diplomatic levels, and we should continue with that.
Okay. India recently, certain permissions have been granted for the first GM food crop in India. Can you name which one is it?
Ma'am, DMH11.
And do you think it's a good idea to introduce a genetically modified crop, especially the food crop?
Ma'am, there are various advantages associated with it, and there are various disadvantages as well. The advantages include higher yields, pest resistance, etc. And the disadvantages include that it becomes very difficult to control these GM crops once they are introduced. So, ma'am, I think there needs to be a greater research, and then following the approvals from the GEAC, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, we can introduce them, but only after the various nuances have been studied.
Obviously, they are studying the nuances, but in the long run, if certain disadvantages are seen, then you cannot reverse the decision.
Yes, ma'am.
Environmentally, at least you cannot do that. Do you still think it's a good idea?
Ma'am, we have to be extremely careful, but also considering that there are food shortages that India is facing and the entire world is also facing, I think we will have to bring in some scientific way to tackle the food challenges.
Okay, my last question to you. We recently celebrated the Good Governance Day. Can you tell me some of the principles of good governance? Just the name.
Ma'am, accountability, transparency, equity, rule of law. These are some of the.
Okay, thank you.
I believe Shakespearean plays fascinate you.
Yes.
Now tell me, what kind of character is Desdemona in Othello?
Sir, I have not read Othello.
Yeah, you haven't read Othello, okay. What do you mean by Rashtriya Mahila Kosh?
Sir, Rashtriya Mahila Kosh is a dedicated fund for the development and the empowerment of women, as well as to tackle the safety of them.
How does it function?
I'm sorry, sir, I haven't looked
Any
into it.
relation with NGOs?
Yes, sir, it also, there is also the component wherein the funds are utilized, or the implementation part. NGOs have a great role.
Okay, one last question before we let you go. We find that you have immense interest in international affairs. Okay, then why did you not opt for the Indian Foreign Service as your first preference?
Sir, that is because the diversity or the diverse experience that Indian Administrative Service provides has been quite limited in other services such as the Foreign Service or the Police Service, because those are more specialized services, whereas Administrative Service provides you a plethora of experiences.
Do you really think that Indian Foreign Service is a highly specialized service?
Sir, it is a domain-specific service wherein you are dealing mostly with the foreign affairs, but Administrative Service provides you a platform to work in diverse fields such as You could be working with the Ministry of Petroleum. You could be working with the ministry, with other ministries as well, the Ministry of Home Affairs. For instance, you could be working at the district level. You could be working at the center on deputation as well.
Got your point. Okay, thank you very much. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in. Sit down, Aashna.
Thank you, sir.
So, Aashna, how was your experience?
So it was very nice. I got to know the various fields where I lack.
Would you like to share with us the area which you have understood you lack?
So social issues is one area where I really lack. Sir, another one would be the public policy and understanding the challenges of the public policy. I would say I need to furnish a little more on international affairs as well.
Because a lot of questions will be asked. This is my premonition that when you go for the interview, a lot of questions will be asked on international affairs. And one related question will definitely be, when you are so much passionate about the international affairs, then why did you not choose Indian Foreign Service as your first preference? That you could anticipate and frame your answer in a better way.
Okay, sir.
Okay, diversity is very generalized, and you can't be saying that Indian Foreign Service doesn't give you diversity. You go from one continent to another continent, deal with lots of issues, not only foreign affairs.
Yes, sir.
It is nation to nation interaction on various levels. A lot of economic issues, social issues, environmental issues are discussed. So you can't be saying that just you represent the country, that's it. You represent the country, the ethos of country goes along with you.
Yes,
isn't
sir.
it? So that answer, I mean, you could reframe it in a different way, but that argument may not hold water.
Okay,
that is what I want to say. And by and large, you are a wonderful candidate. Let me start with that. You are a wonderful candidate for civil services. Which attempt is this for you?
Sir, third.
Third attempt. And first at the interview?
First interview, sir.
First interview. So if you have done well in your written paper, you will be doing very well in this thing.
Thank you, sir.
Question which we didn't ask you, why not English literature? Why did you opt for Anthro?
Anthro.
So that question is a very hackneyed question, may be asked. Okay, because you have a core area is English literature. Then when you entered, and let me go into details now.
Yes, sir.
When you entered, your entry was slightly tentative. It should have been more smarter, faster pace.
Yes, sir.
And then stand and seek permission.
Okay.
So
sir.
it was a sort of a very casual kind of a walk.
Yes,
it should be very smart.
All right, sir.
Otherwise, you have all the good qualities of a civil servant.
Thank you, sir.
Your body language is very positive. Your communication skill is very good.
Thank you, sir.
And you did not get into argument with the board members. That is very important. You have to be patient while listening to the questions.
Yes, sir.
And try to understand the intent of the question and answer accordingly. While answering, try to be as crisp as possible, as brief as possible.
Okay, sir.
The more you speak, the more problems you invite for yourself.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So be crisp unless and until a counter question is asked on that. And then try to be honest in your approach.
Yes, sir.
Don't enter into the area of guesswork. At times it appeared to us probably you would try to enter in the area of guesswork. Then regarding books and all that, E.M. Forster, George Orwell, if you have read it, then only you should say.
Okay,
yes,
sir.
Just for the sake of saying it, because we have also heard
Yes, sir.
1984 is there. But if I have not read it, you can simply say, yes, I have heard about that book, but I have to study it properly. Because you should anticipate the moment you say yes, there will be a counter question.
Yes, sir.
So if you are confident of replying to that, you should.
Okay, sir.
NGO is you have shown that you have worked with NGO, and that too in the area of education.
Yes,
it's
sir.
a vast area.
Yes,
so
sir.
prepare fully on that.
Okay.
How the NGOs work, what was your contribution, what the government has been doing and all that, and what is, as an administrator, how can you contribute your might to the growth of NGOs without affecting your own work, isn't it? That is all right. And Then prepare a lot of time, prepare more on your district, on your state, what are the issues your state is facing, what are the problems of the district, because you see you come from a public school background.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
DPS is there, LSR is there, isn't it? So
Yes.
some sort of elitist element is there in your education.
Yes, sir.
So, and India is predominantly a rural country. So you may be going to the remote areas of the country and serving the society there, whether you yourself will feel comfortable or not. So try to make a solid background for that, a solid case for that. Pilakua and all that, maybe questions may be asked from your, read more on that.
Okay, sir.
I think otherwise a wonderful person, no guesswork, no argument,
Yes, sir.
no unnecessary guessing, again I repeating it, perfect body language, positive body language, smiling face and confident looking face, patient listener and excellent in communication skill. You will do wonders.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any specific questions you have, feel free to ask.
No, sir.
All the best to you.
Thank
All
you,
the
sir.
best.